Welcome back, y'all, and happy Wednesday. This is the Bluechip Breakdown, and I'm your host, Bull. This is spring practice day, I think, number 12. Either way, man, I think this is the last practice that we're actually going to get to see before the orange and white game. Of course, the orange and white game will not be televised. Hopefully, one of y'all will be able to go to the game and get some clips of it because that will be huge for us, or maybe just get the whole doggone game. Either way, what we're seeing right here is our defensive line. Looks like these are all tackles. Doing a good job of getting to the quarterback. I think it would look a lot better at this point in spring practice compared to whenever we started things off, especially looking at those freshmen. So several people are still banged up right there. Like I said, I feel like we're probably going to have to go to the transfer portal to add some more bodies. Either way, we should end up being fine. Now, I love this drill right here. This is our cornerbacks. I think maybe some star players as well working on crossing routes. Okay, you can see those dummies that are kind of lined up right there in the middle. That's to kind of simulate what the box looks like. So we're seeing it again right here, and we're seeing it number 44. Okay, maybe he's the one who made the mistake right there, but Coach Allen Williams, he is getting them right. Now he is a defensive guru, but really he's a secondary guy. So I love that drill. I think that's huge. One of the more difficult routes to cover. Tennessee's done a good job with it over the past couple of seasons. Well, really last season. We did a great job with it, but you can always get better at that. It is very, very tough. So here we're seeing our linebackers just going through, working on shedding blocks, making tackles, getting into their run fits and things like that. I'll continue to say this. Jordan Burns looks really good. Actually, Brendan Ames went a little bit earlier. I think that he looked great. He's definitely a lot more physical. And I do believe that he had an interception. It might have been a pick six in our most recent scrimmage. Right here, we've got our offensive lineman working on getting up to the second level. That is Big Bennett Warren tackle. This right here is Lance Hurd. Now, I think that this is an outside zone look for us. That's going to be great for us. Okay, that's going to be really big for our offense moving forward. Here we have Big Larry Johnson. Like we always say, y'all. I mean, he just looks very, very well put together, very strong, moving that heavy sled. He's moving it with ease. That is a big man, 6'7", 345, something like that. I think that Lance Hurd looks good too. Those are probably going to be our starting tackles. Lance Hurd on the left side and then Larry Johnson on that right side. But yeah, I mean, you can just see that those are some very, very good looking tackle prospects. And right here we have the true freshman, David Sanders. He's definitely picking up weight. Okay. I would say, over 300 pounds. He might be 305. And he still has to get a little bit stronger. I think that his technique and his form looks perfectly fine, but we need to see a little bit more pop. I can say the same thing right here about William Satterwhite. So what they're doing here is they're just mimicking a gallop where you just kind of bump the guy to your inside. So they'll be helping out that guard, and they're working on getting up to the second level. But I actually think that Nick Moore looked a little bit better in that drill just because he was more physical. And here we're seeing the offensive line at center with the right guard. And then it looks like on the other side, it looks like it's the same thing. It's the center with the left guard. So we're seeing Nick Moore is in that back group. Okay, he's working alongside of Wendell Moy. And with this group, like we said, it is Jesse Perry going with William Satterwhite. I still feel like Jesse Perry is going to be pushing for that right guard spot, as the starter potentially to kick this season off. Here we have the tight ends. Okay, I think the brain number one looks good. He is in the red non-contact jersey, but he looked good. Coach Abe is getting it right, showing him, boom, you got to throw those hips for it. But this, I would say, is probably mimicking if they're going to be like an insert where they're not necessarily coming straight out of their stance, but maybe going in motion or coming from one side to the other and having the block. Here we got running backs working on footwork, and on the first reps here, we're just going straight through that dummy, right? This is on probably like a short yardage situation. Justin Baker looks really good here. I think that Bishop looked really good there. Really, all these guys are going to look great. Peyton Lewis, he's the tallest running back, but he's got to get lower there. But he also looks good. I want to see him continue to maybe add a little bit of weight, but if he feels more comfortable playing at about 212 pounds, that's fine for me. I think that Star Thomas looks good. They all have really good feet. I do want to say that D. Morris, he might have been held out again today. We'll see. Can he go in the scrimmage coming up or, in the orange and white game coming up on Saturday? I think that he might. Hopefully he does. I think Hunter Barnes, he's a guy that, as a walk-on running back, he's looked pretty much perfect in every single drill that we've seen, whether that's special team stuff or going through like the regular running back things. And Justin Baker looks good there. Just got to pick his feet up. Okay, you don't want to get tripped up at that line of scrimmage, but you can just tell how very well put together all these guys are. Let's see what Star Thomas does on this one. See if he shows us a little something. I think that, again, his footwork looks good. That cut was also nice. Now we have Coach Sims teaching them how he wants them to punch with their pass blocking. Right there, that's Coach Seth Luttrell. Okay, we talked a lot about him. He's moved all over the offense so far throughout spring here. It looks like he's maybe watching the footwork of these running backs, making sure that maybe they're not taking any false steps. But this is big, right? Because if we can get the pass pro down with this group, then we are going to have a very, very deep running back room with no real issues. But that's going to do it for this video, y'all. We might be coming back to you here within like the next hour or two with the news, notes, and thoughts after we take a look at all the notes from the insiders. Hope that y'all will join us for that. But as always, please do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We might see you in just a minute. Thanks. Peace.